So what's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to clean out a carburetor in one of these bigger engines of an 18.5 up to 20 horsepower engines for these carburetors. So this came off of a Kohler 22 horsepower, and let's get right into it and show you guys how it's done. So you want to start by taking off this sensor down at the bottom that plugs in. Once you have the carburetor off the mower, it should be good. Just unplug those wires and make sure that you find out the way it goes back, because there's a diaphragm and shape there. And then you can normally take really thin pliers to get into that, or electrical wires or electrical clamps is what I use, and they come right off. And then once you spin that off, just make sure that you don't lose any parts. Make sure that there's a gasket there sealing it, and then make sure that that rubber tip's okay and it's not broken or it's missing. And that should be good. So this one's still good, and make sure it's still functioning. I'll lubricate these up with some lubricant, and then what I'll do is I'll take off this, make sure it's good, and then what I'll do is check that bowl gasket around here and make sure that there's no cracks or anything letting fuel through. Normally they don't. And then what you want to do is what I'll do is a general test, is just check that the float well works. And you want to just tilt it like that. Right this way is a little better, but as long as you tilt it and it's still moving, that means it's shutting off the fuel. And if it should shut off level with the carburetor. So this float bowl is good to go. The jet isn't sticking. And then, but the main part in these are normally the jets in there. So, and these jets are really big in these, but because the sensor lets and limits the fuel through. But I normally take a toothpick. They work perfectly fine. Just stick it through the hole all the way through. Make sure you can see it on the other side in the carburetor, and then I'll normally just make it take back out, and then that means it's clear. The jet is clean. It's clear. Jet's orifices are clear. And then what you also want to check is right there. That jet lets the fuel into this jet orifice. So normally if you have a really thin wire or something, just stick it through. Make sure that it goes all the way through. Make sure you can see it on the other side. And once you do that, this one should be good. As long as your float bowl's functioning, your jets are clear. As long as I can blow through it, it should be good. Just make sure that everything's cleaned off before you blow through it. I normally just run it through some water, clean it up first. And then you want to, before assembling it, you want to check into this float bowl. Make sure that there's not a bunch of debris in here. And there isn't too much in this one, a little bit. So what I'll do is take a wire brush, clean wire brush, just clean it out. And then I can use some carburetor cleaner too. And then I'll just blow it back out with a carburetor or with an air compressor. And then there's not as much debris in there. And then just reassemble it. There's not really a directional to the float bowl. Just make sure you still have that gasket right there. And then that's still functioning. And just spin it back on there. Don't cross thread it. And once you get it on, just make sure that it's all the way on. And then I'll normally take really thin pliers or something and clamp that back on and tighten it. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So, thanks for watching. Your carburetor should be good. After learning how to clean out your jets, you're an expert at it. You'll never have to take your mower to the mechanic again unless there's a major problem. But this is normally the root cause of all of your engines not running or something. So this is a really good lesson to learn. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time.